All right, folks, I'm Anthony. This is Just Another Guy Adventures. And today we're going to see if we can't speed up my 16-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. All right, guys, today we're testing out some loads to see if we can't speed up my 16-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. It's the Howa Superlite. I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Why don't you just drop bullet weight and speed it up that way? Well, from my experience running the data, I just haven't found that dropping bullet weight to speed it up really gives you any advantage. Maybe at closer ranges, but ballistically, even with the wind, that higher, slower BC bullet is going to win every time. So we're out here today. We're going to shoot some 147s and see if we can't pick up a little bit of speed. We're going to start with my normal load. It was pushing these 147 ELDMs about 2,500 feet per second. And we're going to do that. Make sure we're on paper. I was shooting out to 1,310 yards during that 6 video. So we're going to get this back on paper and give us a basis for our load data. We got 2533. That bolt issue again. 2504. 2507. So our first loads we're averaging 2515. All right, guys, I ended up shooting a fourth one just to try to make sure we got on target with these. Hopefully we don't have too much shift going from powder to powder. We're sticking with the same bullet here, but we ended up averaging, that last one was 2501. We averaged 2511. So I'm gonna now switch over and we're going to shoot the Staball 6.5. Just wanted to add in here too, if you guys have had any experience with these powders, please comment down below and let me know what kind of experience you guys have had with them. We got 2583 on that first shot. We got some heavy bolt lift for sure. Looks like we've got a ejector mark right out the gate, so that is not great. That was with 42 grains of Staball. Second one, we got 2542. Still got an ejector mark on that. Not sure I love that. That should be 42.5 grains. Little bit of an ejector mark, not quite as bad. I also forgot to turn on the camera down there. All right, just to give you guys a rundown on what I did, I went to Hodgdon's website and I went under 6.5 Creedmoor, and I believe I went to the 147. I think it's on there. And I looked through the powders on there and I picked the 3 fastest powders. Also, I looked at what the local gun shop had for powders when I bought that. We're running Staball 6.5. We're gonna run some loads with that. We're gonna run Hodgdon Hybrid 100V, and also we're gonna run Superformance. That was actually the top one. If you guys wanna see that load process, I'm gonna be honest, YouTube doesn't really like that stuff. So I'm gonna put a video on my Patreon. I know, I don't know what to tell you guys. I also just know that this is a lot of work and I hope you guys appreciate it. If you want to contribute, awesome. If you don't care and whatever, just keep watching the YouTube videos. I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, we let it cool down. We're gonna shoot these last 2 loads of the 6.5 Staball. We got the 2608, some real heavy bolt lift. So we shouldn't be doing this. We're gonna go to the top end, 44, see what happens. 2633. Got some heavy bolt lift, big old ejector mark. So on our 5-shot average, we got a 2573, all with pressure, which isn't great. Definitely gained some speed. Not sure we're in the safe zone though, so I don't think we're gonna end up using these loads. All right, folks, we're cooled back down here. Everything's nice and cool. We're on to Hybrid 100V, and we're starting out same load as before, 42.5. We cleared out the chrono, and we'll see how this does. First shot, we got 2503. Seems like we've got some pretty good bolt lift, everything, or not heavy bolt lift, but looks good. We do have an extractor mark on that one though. Second shot, we're at 2553. We're already running into some heavy bolt lift. That was with a, sorry, the first one was 42 grains. This one was 42.5 grains. Not looking good for these high speed loads, that's for sure. That one was 2590. Same scenario, ejector mark and a little bolt swipe it looks like. So we're 0 for 2 so far with speed loads. It's kind of what you should come to expect, I guess, with these short 16-inch barrels. All right, guys, I let this barrel cool back down. We're gonna shoot these last two of the hybrid 100V, and we've got a 43.5 grain and a 44. As we've already seen, we're hitting pressures. Got 2603, heavy bolt lift again. Last one, 2628. That one didn't seem as bad, but of course we still got that ejector mark. And we're 0 for 2 so far. So we've got one last with the Superformance. They say that they get a lot more speed with that. That's actually the one I was kind of expecting to. I had high hopes for that H100V, but we'll let this cool down again and shoot that final group. All right, now while I'm letting this rifle cool, I want to talk to you guys about the main reason why I'm trying to speed this up a little bit. So as you know, this is my Howa Superlite. I'm trying to keep this rifle as light as possible without the bipod and suppressor. When I was running a titanium muzzle brake, I believe this rifle was 5.5 pounds with 3 rounds in the magazine. So that's super light, and a big contribution to that is this scope. This is the SWFA ultralight scope that only weighs 9.5 ounces, I believe. I've never actually tested on the scale to make sure, but that's what they're claiming on their website. I'll put a picture up of the reticle in there so you guys can see. And my issue is, this isn't a crazy long range gun, I understand that. In order to use the holdover in here, this scope was designed for a 223, which is pretty comparable to a 308 on the reticle. They match up pretty good in a lot of instances. Well, for me, for how slow this 16-inch barrel is, I'm having to use the 500-yard mark to use as a 400-yard mark. I actually ended up taking a mule deer buck with this rifle out to 420, and I was holding on that very bottom line. I actually think I was holding a little bit below that. And it's not bad, it's doable, but it makes it a little bit tough to remember that the 5 is 4 and so on and so forth. So I'm just really trying to pick up a little speed with this to see if I can't get that reticle maybe to match up a little bit more. It's not looking good. Like I said, I think if I could do it over again, I would just go with that 20-inch barrel. We're out here in the West where we do take a few longer pokes and we have some range to actually shoot. Even practicing with this rifle, I wouldn't mind stretching my legs. But for anyone else, like out in the East or a timber guy or anything like that, like I said, I really don't think you can go wrong with this 16-inch. But yeah, just trying to see if we can pick up a little speed to mainly get this scope matched up. So that's why I'm doing this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We're off to our final group here using the Superformance, and we'll see if we gain any ground with this. We're starting off with 44 grains of Superformance. Shot one was slow, 2432. No ejector marks. Primer looks good. All that looks good. So we're on to our second one, which is 44.5. Second shot was 2486. No ejector mark. Looks good so far. We're on to 45 grains. That was 2538. And I like that so far. All right, guys, we let this barrel cool back down. Got 2 shots left out of our Superformance. We're starting with 45.5. $25.78. Got some bolt swipe, it looks like. Oh, no, we got an ejector marks. And the final one was 2578 also. Got another ejector mark there. So we picked up a little speed with that Superformance, so I guess I won't call this a complete loss, but didn't quite get where I was hoping. We might just be stuck with 2,500 feet per second out of this 16-inch barrel, but it is what it is. I just thought we'd come out here and test it today. Sorry guys, before I forget, we averaged 25, 22 out of those 5 shots. Guys, just wanted to run through these groups real quick. I'm sure the keyboard warriors have already typed in there how my 5-shot groups are garbage and whatever. This is a speed test. It's not a group test, but that's fine. So this was my first loads, just trying to get this back up here. Like I said, I was out shooting to 1,310 yards with this rifle the other day. I shot these 3, pretty good little 3-shot group, and moved it right back to there. I figured since we're trying to get speed, it was going to climb a little bit. So here's a 5-shot group with that Staball 6.5. Actually not too bad of a group. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a little bit over an inch. I have noticed this rifle does seem to be buttoning up a little bit, so I do like that. Here's our next 5-shot group with the Hybrid 100V. Not too shabby of a group right there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with this. This is that Superformance. It's a 5-shot group right there. And we didn't quite get as high of speeds as I would have liked, but we definitely might mess around with that load just a little bit more. Like I said, I like to do this when I'm shooting loads like this. In my opinion, and I don't know if this is proven or not, but if you can shoot different grain weights and have something like that happen, I think that's just a perk, you know? Let's just say something accidentally happens in the reload room where you don't get the exact same charge, but you get groups like that, you don't have as many concerns. Also, I like to run it like this just because of temperature, right? So in theory, not only is the powder different, but the pressure's different. So out here today, I think it's maybe 20 degrees, maybe 23 degrees or something like that. So it's nice to know that if we're gonna get higher temperatures, in theory, hopefully we're gonna keep that same button-up group. That's just a theory I have. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm sure all you haters can write a comment how I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't really care. But super impressed with that Superformance. We did get a little speed out of it. Not enough to probably do some drastic changes. The only other thing that I could have considered is we're using a Starline brass. I've never really tested that before, so I do not know if that's a softer brass. Maybe we're getting pressure sooner. Maybe that's what we'll have to do next time. Switch brass, keep the same loads. Maybe drop just a little bit because we did get pressure. But yeah, no, super happy about the Superformance loads. And we might try and run that just for fun. But this is also the first time that I've really experimented a whole lot with spherical powders. Like I said, I thought they all were. Come to find out, just the 6.5 Staball and the Superformance. But I don't think you can go wrong with those powders. Honestly, I'm just used to extruded powders just because they're supposed to be a little bit more temperature stable than those sphericals and ball powders. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to see my load process on this, we're going to have a link in the Patreon. If you guys like what I'm doing and you want to subscribe over there, I greatly appreciate it. Probably give you a shout out on my YouTube channel if you do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm actually enjoying getting out here and doing some of this film and stuff. Have a good day, and please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it.